The open chain lunge is what you would traditionally think of as a lunge, is where we have one leg that's mobile while the other leg is planted throughout the movement. So the open chain lunge definitely becomes more of a stability strength exercise, and you have to have good control to keep your joints safe because it is a loaded exercise. We're going to start by deloading a little bit in the assistance position. So we're going to go with assisted reverse lunges. There's a little catch-22 to this. When you add the assistance of stabilization in the lunge, it makes you keep tension more constantly in the loaded or working leg, and it burns a little bit more. During the second round, we're going to take that assistance away. We'll go to body weight lunges, and I'll show you how you can even load the lunge just like you could through the split squat or the closed chain lunge. So the open chain lunge, reverse lunge, we're going to grab the band, whatever assistance level you use. It's there just to lightly deload you. We're going to step back with that left leg first, and we'll make the right leg our working leg the whole time, or our planted leg. There are aspects of this back leg that are working. Step up and through. Drive through the hips. You're going to step all the way together now. Yeah. So don't break it up. Do it all in one movement. There we go. That's number one. Let's begin. 12 repetitions. Standing tall, squeezing the hip through. I want you to think of this a little bit more like a hip thruster now. As you step that butt up, you're driving it through to the wall in front of you, driving through the heel of that front leg, controlling through the thigh. There's, as I was saying a moment ago, there's obviously some working being done, and some work being done to help assist the lowering in this back knee, and help assist the drive up in that back knee as well. So you have a little knee flexion and extension here. 12 repetitions, and we'll rest for about 20 to 30 seconds between sides. Very good. Is that 12? Somewhere around 12. Again, with this lunging pattern, we got to remember that our alignment, hip, knee, ankle, and about the second toe has to remain in position. If you looked at that through the bones, it would be the femur bone and the shin bones lined up in line with the kneecap, the patella. So as I'm going to that reverse lunge, I step back and keep really solid alignment of those markers and drive up with strong alignment. We can't have a lot of shifting and wiggling going, because that's where the joint takes a lot of beating and takes more torsion. So same thing happening with the back leg. You're loading back in a nice straight line. Let's go side B. Stepping back with the right leg, working through the left. Ready, set. Line up nice and tall, and begin. Now the assisted style is unique with the shoulders. You do have to keep some tension through this arm and shoulder connection there. It makes things a little bit more challenging for your mind state, because you're also trying to manage the perfect angles that we just talked about while you're trying to keep the load or deload the assistance of the band through your shoulders without rounding the shoulders as you come down. That was really good. Stepping in a nice straight line spine, dropping the hips, and keeping your pelvic tilt pretty neutral. Neutral right through here. If you saw that her pants were tilting forward or back was arching too much, then we would have to look at developing some more core strength. Good. So round one on both sides, we did assisted. Now let's do regular body weight. We could also very simply overload the lunge or the closed chain or open chain lunge. So we have the reverse lunge that we're learning here, and another video before this, we just taught you the closed chain lunge. You could very simply grab those dumbbells on either of these motions. Let's just go with body weight. Stepping back with the left, using the right as your working leg, facing the camera. Here we go. Begin. 12 repetitions. Smooth and steady. Remember, at the beginning of your learning phase with strength training, you really have to work on controlling the motor patterns and smoothing the quality of motion out. If you're feeling real shaky and trembly, You don't want to overload too much. We have to develop those neural patterns and the neural stability strength so that we can move through the load safely. As you begin to become more solid, we're going to give you a little bit more load and show you variations that challenge you more. As soon as you upload or up the load, as soon as you increase the intensity of that new exercise, you're going to get the similar effect of that shaking and trembling, and you're going to have to slow things down again. So it's always about moving with good control. Side A, and now take a second, shake it loose. Always, just as we were speaking about quality of movement, quality rest is what leads to good quality repetitions and sets. So if you don't have good quality rest, your mechanics are going to fail. You're not going to be able to hit the highest level of performance. So let's go ahead, about 20 seconds, 30 seconds or so between. Round 2, side B, final round now of our open chain lunges. Go ahead. Throughout these rounds of resistance training, you got to kind of get the mindset down. You understand that obviously at the end of the set, it's going to be a little bit harder than it was at the beginning of the set. So I want you to really use the first 2 or 3 repetitions to solidify your mechanics. Really pay attention to closing in and connecting on those body parts that are the general motor patterns we're using. So it's knees, thighs, and hips here. In the press, it would be elbows, shoulders, and the muscles involved with that. So use the first couple reps to hone in, and then by the end of it, you're starting to feel the fatigue and starting to shake and tremble, and the muscles are burning. You really got to hone in and dial in on those mechanics and make sure there's no cheating and compensating going on. That's why mindfulness is a very important factor for your strength training. Staying connected and focusing on those muscles, squeezing them a little extra hard will get more out of it. Good job.